So that would really be 45, right?
Yeah. Yes.
To serve. And you said 45 serve 10, but I don't see where that's coming from.
I'm sorry, it's 45 certified because I did do the balance system on that, the weapons charge.
All right. Anything else you want to present?
Yeah, sure, I know what that is, family members can opportunity to speak for those, what we envisioned was not to just come in here and blindly ask the court to give him probation without a plan. I don't know what the court's take is on this, but a lot of this seems to be the situation where we have back and forth. Something happens to someone, and then we have something happening to someone else. We're trying to minimize his involvement going forward and his need to engage in other criminal activity.
Well, there's never a need to engage in
Yes,
criminal.
correct.
I want to rephrase that.
I understand. What, or the perception, right? So what I've seen here is, without throwing anybody else under the bus, other individuals still carrying weapons under a presumed, that I'm presuming that would be the reason why, is that you feel that you are somewhat at risk, despite that being against the terms of your probation and against
The
what you're
law.
lawfully allowed to do. I don't even want the feeling of that, and I think the best way to alleviate that risk feeling is to remove Mr. Bowen from these situations and to have a plan going forward
Okay.
about what he's going to do with his life.
Mm-hmm.
He and I have spoken extensively about it. Of course, one cannot make plans from inside the jail to an extent. A lot of his plans involve leaving the state entirely, which I support. That would alleviate a lot of the risk.
Okay.
It's not just a risk for him, but as we've seen in the facts here, it becomes family members, other people, friends that become unintended targets of these various acts. On short notice, we weren't able to lock in a lot of provisions for what he could do and what we hope he's going to do. But I do want his family to at least discuss with you about the plans that they have, so that the court understands that we're not just saying, hey, just let him go. We'll hope for the best. No, we have something.
Okay. Have you discussed with the family what those plans are?
I have.
Okay. Well, why don't you let me know what they are?
So generally speaking, his aunt is a business owner. She owns a number of businesses. And so she's able to employ him. It's like, one is like a lawn care service. She's got several contracts for that.
Is this local?
Not local in Atlanta. I think it's Metro Atlanta. Is that correct? DeKalb.
Pretty local. Okay.
Um,
What other ideas?
So that would just be the first one.
Yep.
I would like for her to speak about who she reached out to out of state. So she's got other relatives out of state that she was able to speak to. I wasn't able to speak with them directly, so that's why she went to the court to allow her to communicate directly about what those plans are.
Okay.
Would you like me to go over on it?
Not to just tell me what her idea is for his rehabilitation. Hmm? Good afternoon.
My name is Marquita Cook Johnson. I am Demi Kalen's maternal aunt. I am a native of Atlanta. I'm a military veteran. I do own two businesses here in DeKalb County. One is a spa and wellness retreat, and the other is a boxing gym, which my partner and I own together. this was a very short notice. I do understand as far as my goal is to get him out of Atlanta as a whole. Prior to his arrest, I had taken him on his first out of town trip to get him acclimated to traveling and just getting weapons outside of Atlanta. I was stationed on West Coast in California. I have several connections there, and as well as Virginia, mostly states where military people reside. I have reached out to a few of my fellow shipmates who are now retired, like I am, that are in a position of mentorship. I feel like for the weekend's safety and as well as my family's safety, it is best for him to relocate as a whole. And also to have realistic expectations. I have in the past had custody of Demikion. He knows I run a very strict household, but even as an adult, at this point, he needs to have a curfew because outside is not the greatest place right now. So, under the terms of him being able to come for immediate employment, my partner is also law enforcement as well in Rockdale County. So, in order for him to come and gain employment with us, he will have very strict accommodations. And like I said, the long term is to get him relocated out of it.
Is this the one that's
All right,
married
thank
to
you.
the cop that locked him up?
How much time has Mr. Garlington already served on this case?
Your Honor, Mr. Carlton has been in since September 28th, 2022, which was 974 days.
All right, anything else from the defense?
The custodian will be able to correct, but I think it might have been May when he got arrested.
I checked Odyssey and that was the date.
Ms. Shelley, can you let me know what you show for his time served so far?
As far as the jail
Pre-trial?
law, that when
Pre-trial? Yeah, well, yeah, in jail.
I don't have access to the
You
pre-trial
don't?
system, just regular felony
Okay,
violent things.
well, darn. What do you show? I mean, there's an arrest date of May 11th, 2022. Whether he was released and rearrested, I don't know. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that part I don't think would count in his favor. I don't really know how they. But it wasn't on this case. If he went to prison, it would have been for some other case.
Custody on his case, even though he went to prison on the case. I'm not saying his prison time,
I
I'm
don't-
talking about when he was first arrested was May 11, 2022.
Okay,
on
well,
these charges.
it's either 974 days or 974 days plus about 4 more months, right? All right. All right. Anything else from the defense?
Nothing from the defense.
All right. Any rebuttal, I guess, from this state, which I don't know if that's the thing, but anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor, I believe that you've heard a number of the wiretap evidence, within the first trial, Your Honor, that we don't need to reiterate. It is the state's position that Mr. Garlington was given an opportunity to redeem himself when he was resentenced in 2020. And as opposed to working with his aunt or as opposed to leaving the state then, that's not what he did. He re-engaged in gang activity in which we have the text messages regarding the stabbing of Mr. Bennett. And while there might not have been payment, Mr. Adams, after the stabbing of Mr. Bennett, surely reached out to Mr. Garlington on multiple occasions to try to get payment for that particular incident, and either never transpired, but there was some expectation of payment for that act to be completed. Again, after the murder of Mr. Drinks, there was laughing about the murder on the wiretap. There was a concern about cleaning the vehicle. And that is all from Mr. Garlington's mouth and words. There was concern that other co-defendants were going to tell. And how do we get that person not to speak? So Mr. Garlington, unfortunately, never learned his lesson the first time around. If he
All right.
had, maybe we wouldn't have been here, and that's
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to take about a 10-minute recess, and then I'll be.
We had Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
All right, y'all. So what's up, so truth team? Listen, I just happened to be going through content. Y'all know I took me about almost a week off, okay? And Mikion Garlington, aka Lil D, is being sentenced today. I'm in the YSL Rico. Now, a couple things about it. Was that the aunt that's married to a girl? Okay, I forgot what's the detective name? The one that worked at the games. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna see exactly what is he sentenced for. Remember, this was little Woody Ace Moon Coon, you know what I'm saying? What will he get? What do y'all think? They're in a recess, so we're gonna hold it down until then and then run it back.
You have this. Okay. Yes, and they've null prossed 40, 43, and 43 and 51.
He looks stressed.
All right,
I would be.
we're back on the
Here we
record.
go. There we go.
And I have taken into consideration the state's recommendation, the defense recommendation, the evidence that's been presented. I also am obviously aware of the evidence that was presented in the other trial, and I have taken a look back at the sentences that this court imposed for co-defendants from the prior trial, including co-defendants who were charged with some of the counts that Mr. Garlington is currently charged with and has entered an Alfred guilty plea to. Also taken into consideration his prior record as well as the prior records in the other cases in which this court sentenced. Also, other than one of the sentences imposed by this court in the first trial, the sentences that were imposed were joint recommendations, and I've taken that into consideration as well. The sentence for count one, which is the RICO count, is going to be 20 years to serve 5, the balance of 15 probated. Count 42, the sentence is 20 years, serve 5, balance probated, concurrent. The sentence on count 49 reduced to aggravated assault under OCGA 16-5-21. Is that what you said, 21? Okay. Is 20 years to serve 5 with the balance probated, concurrent with the other sentences. And I'll note in that regard that one of the defendants charged with that set of crimes was found not guilty, and 2 others, the state decided to null pros the counts against them. In count 50, the sentence is 20 years, serve 5, balance probated, concurrent. And then the sentence for count 54 is going to be 5 years consecutive to count 50. And it can be suspended upon successful completion of probation. So that's essentially 20 years, 5 to serve with credit for time served, 15 years probated, followed by 5 to serve, which can be suspended and will be suspended as long as the probation is successfully completed. Special conditions of the probation: no contact with any of the victims in this entire indictment or with any of their family members. No contact with any gang members from any gang whatsoever. No gang paraphernalia, no gang associations, no guns, no replicas of guns. You need to secure full-time employment within the first 6 months after you're released from probation. You need to sign a social media waiver and a Fourth Amendment waiver. And that is going to mean that during the entirety of your probation, law enforcement at any time they want to can look at your social media posts, can search your person, can search your home, can search your car with or without probable cause to ensure that you do not have any gang paraphernalia, any guns, any drugs, anything you are not supposed to have. You need to secure your GED, which I know you told me yesterday you were working on it and had gotten to parts of that already. Go ahead and get the rest of it within the first year of your probation. And I am going to require that you stay out of Fulton County for the entirety of your probation. All right, that is the sentence of the court. I hope that, as I have said with the other defendants whom I've sentenced, that this has been an opportunity for you to realize that the direction that your life was going is not a good direction, and that you are determined at this point to turn your life around and make good decisions from here on out. Associate yourself only with people that are going to help you to stay on the straight and narrow. So you've got a little bit of time left to serve before you're released. I think a couple of years at least, but go ahead and do that. You can be working on your GED and on job skills while you're in prison. Good luck to you. And I hope not to ever see you again, because if you violate your probation, you're coming before me. So let's make that not be a thing. Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
You want me to add that, Jeremy?
What?
Any violations
Back to me.
approval?
Yeah. All right.
All right, well, he's smiling at the end, so I guess he's like, woo, I'll take them couple years. So basically, he got served 5 years, okay? He done did like a little over, 2 years maybe? Yeah, I think a little over 2 years, or right at 2 years, something like that. And then he got 15 years probation, which may be easy for him because he can't be in Fulton County. So maybe that'll be easier. Because at first I was like, dang, I would want to go home today. But he was smiling and say he's happy with the outcome. With that being said, y'all, I think that's the last of the YSL defendants that we have talked about since covering YSL, I think. Now, I'm not saying all of them are like done, but as far as that we have covered. But anyway, next time one pops up, hey, we'll definitely cover it. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Make It Truth. Catch you on the next one.
And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, guess what?
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast.
This is the weakest, give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from.
Hey, this your girl, Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.